Hello children, welcome to social science class. Today we will continue with the same chapter, that is judiciary, from your civics book. Last class I have completed what is judiciary, what is the role of judiciary. I hope you must have understood all these things and you don't have any doubt till now. And today we shall continue with the same chapter. The second part of the chapter is the independence of judiciary. Independence of judiciary is a special feature of Indian judicial system. It is mentioned in the constitution is that the judiciary of India government is separated from other parts, other organs of government. You know that government has three organs: legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature and executive, somehow they are interrelated, but judiciary is completely separate, completely independent. And why it is completely independent? If it would not be independent, then the free and fair decision cannot take place. Because if you are, just imagine that you are working under a pressure of somebody, then you cannot work properly. When you work something, when you do something in free mind, you can give your best. But if you work under the influence of or under the pressure of somebody, then no work can be done perfectly. And in case of judiciary has to take most critical decision of the entire country. And on one single verdict of Supreme Court is much more important for whole country. So if the judiciary will work under the influence or under the pressure of other politicians or other governments group, then this free and fair judgment cannot take place. For that reason, the framers of our constitution, they have made that judiciary, our Indian judiciary, is independent from the pressure of other parts or other organs of government. Just you imagine, in your book it's given that as a powerful politician encroached on land belonging to your family. Within this judicial system, the politician has the power to appoint and dismiss a judge from his office. And when you take this case to the court, the judge is clearly partial to the politician, because he is in the fear that if I will go against the politician, then the politician may remove the judge from the office. But actually in practice what happened, though Indian executive and legislature, they have certain role in the appointment and the dismissal of the judges, but it is not so easy work to remove one judge from his office. And it is not, though President of India gives appointment to the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court, but it is not according to his discretion. The judges comes according to their qualification and according to their system. So though they have certain work, but it is not so much important. And the constitution has given full freedom to judiciary to act independently. This is known as independence of judiciary. And we have read in the first chapter that separation of power is a special feature of our Indian constitution. Separation of power means power is shared between three organs: legislature who formulates the law, executive interprets the law, judiciary protects the law. So children, you must have understood clearly what is the independence of judiciary while taking a decision. Independence of judiciary while taking a decision, judiciary never asked to Prime Minister that what should be the decision, what I will say, please advise me. And he never asks president that what I will do, please advise him. No, judiciary is an independent body. Whatever judiciary thinks that it is correct, and judiciary gives this verdict, and no one is there to claim, no one is there to question the decision of the judiciary. It may happen sometimes people, they are not agree with this, with the decision of the Supreme Court, they can appeal again, they can appeal again, and judiciary again rethink on this decision, and may judiciary change its decision, it changes, it can be changed, but you cannot claim that judiciary has taken this wrong decision. You can appeal that to please slightly you change. Recent past we have we known these things that Rath Yatra time, during Rath Yatra incident, Supreme Court has given one decision first, but people appealed, then Supreme Court changed his decision. So it is completely independent. It is judiciary never works under the pressure of politician, neither prime minister, president, neither legislature or executive. This is known as independence of judiciary. Now children, come to the second part of the thing. Second part means the structure of courts in India. What is the structure of the courts in India? You know that there are three different labels of courts in our country. There are three different labels of courts in our country. Okay? National level, state level, and local level. At national level, there is only one court which is known as Supreme Court. It is the apex of Indian judiciary system. It is the highest court, and it is one and only one court which is applicable, which decision is final for whole nation. And just below the Supreme Court, state level courts are there. State level courts are High Court, which is the highest court of a state. Mostly, almost all state is having one high court. Though all states, they don't have high courts, but there are 24 high courts in entire country. It is the highest court of a state. Then comes local courts or district court or subordinate court. These are usually at the district or tehsil level or in towns, and they hear many kinds of cases of local level. Each state is divided into district, and that are presided by a district judge. Those district courts are presided by a district judge, and each state has a high court which has several judges and one chief justice is there. In every high court, one chief justice and several judges, and in Supreme Court also one chief justice and several other judges are there. The decisions made by the Supreme Court are binding on all other courts in India, and it is known as the single and integrated judicial system. In our country, though there are different labels of courts are there, but we have single and integrated judicial system. What do you mean by single and integrated judicial system? These labels of courts, different labels of courts are connected to each other. Do you think they are connected to each other? They are connected to each other. How they are connected to each other? Let us see. The decisions made by higher courts, the decision made by the Supreme Court are binding on the lower courts. All lower courts are compulsory, they have to obey the decisions of the Supreme Court. And second thing, another way to understand the integration is through the appellate system that exists in India. Two systems are necessary to understand that we have a single integrated judicial system. First thing, that decisions of the Supreme Court is final for all. All the courts are bound to obey this decision. Second thing, appellate jurisdiction. Appellate jurisdiction means if one person is not satisfied with the decision of the lower court or district court, he or she can apply in high court. And if the person is not satisfied with the decision of high court, then the person can go to the Supreme Court. This type of cases are coming under appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Supreme Court has several jurisdictions, original jurisdictions, where it decides it resolves the disputes of citizen and citizen, disputes of state and state, disputes of state government and central government. Such type of things are coming under original jurisdiction. And appellate jurisdiction, the cases which, when one person is not satisfied with the decision of high court, it can apply, he can go to Supreme Court, and that is known as appellate jurisdiction. Let us understand, in your book one story is given, and from that story you can understand that how people are not satisfied with the local decision, local court decision can go to high court, and after this how that person went to Supreme Court also. ठीक है. In February 1980, Lakshman Kumar married 20-year-old Sudha Goyal, and they lived. Listen, children, you will go through this story. One incident happened, and they went to local court, where local administration, whatever decision has given, they were not satisfied with this, and then another party took that case to high court, and high court gave the decision in favor of one party. Then other party again, they went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court gave one final decision, and all the people means both the party, they were bound to obey the decision of Supreme Court. Though local court gave the decision which was against Supreme Court, high court gave the decision which was against Supreme Court, still that those people, they were bound to obey the decision of Supreme Court. After this, they will not go anywhere. So children, today we have read two things, that is independence of judiciary, and second one is the structures of courts in India. You just see that Supreme Court, then there are high courts, many high courts are there, then there are several district court or session court. This picture also, this pyramidic structure also given in your book. Okay, with this I conclude my class. Thank you.